We're here in Houston, Texas with Joann Adebisi. Joanne, tell us a little about yourself. Where are you from? What brought you to the United States? What was it like growing up where you were? Tell us a little about your life.
My name is Joann Adebisi. The Oluwatoyin was the original name given to me by my parents, and another Muslim name. I was born a Muslim, both parents and all my families. So,
where did you grow up?
I grew up in Nigeria, Ibadan, city of Ibadan, precisely. That is in Oyo State, Nigeria.
Nigeria.
It's a big city, the largest, the second or third largest city in Africa after Johannesburg.
70% Muslims.
70% Muslim.
30% Christian.
30% Christians.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a polygamous home. My father had 6 wives.
Polygamous home, and he had.
Then we stay in New York because the uncle to my husband that
6 wives.
yes,
Okay.
being a Muslim,
As a Muslim,
you're allowed to have as many as you want.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that is my background.
And you know your mother? Your mother brought you up?
Yeah, my mother and my father brought me up, but after a while, my mom divorced my dad, so she raised us up by herself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm number 15.
What kind of house did you live in with 6 wives and your father? What was that like?
It was a very big house. It was like a compound. You know, everybody, we're all doing ours wherever, we're doing our businesses, so my father can cope with it. They didn't see anything wrong in that. Actually, it's a pride, you know, that I have 6 wives.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't see anything wrong in that.
Mm-hmm.
As many wives as you can get,
Mm-hmm.
that is more respect people will give to you. There was a lot of jealousy, you know, and abused, you know, so many things you can think of that is not good in the family. Because everybody is trying to protect their own children. Everybody is just trying to take care of their own children. I remember one time after my mom and my dad separated, I had to live with my dad with the stepmom, you know, because my school then was close to my father's house, so I had to stay with him. So a couple of days, I would not have food to eat because when they prepare food, when my stepmoms prepare food, they only take care of their children only. And each wife, they won't kind of, you know, try to please their husband. So they will give my father food and give their children food. So, but I never allow it to bother me, you know. And if I ask, sometimes because my father is a businessman, he will go from morning and come back late in the evening. And when he comes back, he will eat and go to bed. But when he realized that they've not been feeding me, he wasn't happy. And in most cases, when my father comes, I don't want to bother him because he'll be so tired, you know. So until one night, he came home and he was asking me, "What did you eat today?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "Nothing?" So the food he was supposed to eat, he gave it to me. And I refused. I said, "I'm not eating." He was not happy. He was beating me that why I've been so hungry and Now there's food. I said, because the food was not prepared for me. It was prepared for you. But he now, took me to himself, to his room, and he talked to me that anytime there was no food for me to eat, I should tell him immediately. So that is the type of life, on a daily basis. You are not even guaranteed that, food is coming to your table. But I'm a kind of person, I believe that one day it's going to change. If it's just cereal I manage to see, I'll soak it in the water without milk and I will drink. And that is the type of environment. And going to school, growing up, I was very, very brilliant. And that makes my stepmothers not to be happy. Because they were thinking, okay, despite she didn't have enough care, she's still the one that will be the first in the class. So they will abuse me in several ways. Saying words that was not encouraging to me.
You were still a Muslim, though. How did you become a Christian?
My becoming a Christian, I believe, is the Holy Spirit. Because I was a very, very devoted Muslim. Actually, there was a church beside our house. And one of the people that will always say, I make jest of them. Whenever they are praying, speaking in tongue, I'll be laughing with my friends. I never wish I would become a Christian. And when I finished my school in Ibadan, I had to move to Lagos to do my higher education. And at the same time, I was working. At work, everybody knew that, oh, this is a Muslim. And whenever they are talking around me about Christianity, I always condemn whatever they are saying. But I had a friend, he's a guy. He always talked to me very nice about Jesus Christ.
How old were you at the time?
I was like 22, 23 then. So we were together, we worked together, and he would talk to me. But in most cases, I just ignore him because I knew I had nothing to do with Christianity. So I was going to school and I was working.
High school, college?
College.
You're going to college?
Yeah.
What were you studying in college?
I was studying business administration.
Business administration in college.
Yeah.
All right. And then you met this friend and he was telling you about Jesus.
He was telling me about Jesus, but I never listened to him. So that was like when I was in my 22, 23, until after years, like 4 years after, when I was like 27, that time my father had died. My father died in 1995. I believe it was pressure from all the wives that killed him. But so, and my father so loved me much. So it really, really affected me in several ways. But I was still a Muslim. So after he died, I became so sick. I was so sick. The doctor could not even say this is the cause of sickness. And I was so fearful. I won't be able to sleep. I was having high blood pressure, so many things. At night, I won't sleep. So, in a Muslim way, we go to the Islamic clerk to pray for you and all this. I was doing this to get my peace, but nothing works. One day, it was on Sunday morning, I was going for a visit in one of the friends' house, and I was supposed to go with public transportation to where she was living. But I just found out that I got into a wrong bus. Okay. I got into a wrong bus deliberately, and I went straight to the last bus stop. And when I got to the last bus stop, I was asking people, please, where is so church? I was asking for a particular church that was so popular in the city. They have branches all over.
So you heard the voice, the Lord just told you get on a bus, and you went to the end of the bus line where the church was that you knew about, and you just went to the church and started worshiping. What happened after that? Did you get involved with the church? What happened?
Yes, I worshiped there, and I came back home, and I stopped again for like 2 weeks. Then I went back there to the same church, and I met with one of the ministers over there, and I told them, who I am and what has been happening. I was born a Muslim, this and this, and I told them how fearful I've been living, and they prayed for me. And since that day, I regained my peace back. So when I regained my peace, since that day, they gave me Bible passages that whenever you're fearful, just open this passage of the Bible and read. And that was what I started doing. Then I started going continually.
And did you become a leader in the church? Did you lead Bible studies, or how did they involve you?
Yes, I became I started with workers. I did their workers in training. So they trained me to become one of the workers in the church.
Like a deacon.
And I did my water baptism.
Okay. All right. So you became involved, and you went through the workers training course, and you became a part of the church and a worker in the church.
Yes. I didn't become a worker, but I did the training.
Oh, you didn't become a worker.
I didn't become a worker.
Why not?
Because then it was around the time I was going to work. I was so busy, and I was going to school, still in school. And around that time, I was trying to get married, and getting married with my husband. So it was so much. I didn't want to involve myself.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then what happened?
So becoming a Christian, because when I was Muslim, I was so involved that every morning, 4 a.m., they know me in the mosque. I'll be the first person to be there. So it became like a lot of problem in the community, because each time all the Muslim scholars, the imam, all those big Muslim people in the mosque, when they see me, they want their children to be like me, coming to mosque, be devoted like me. And all of a sudden, I stopped, because you can't see young lady coming to the mosque at that early hour. Mostly all the adults and elderlies. So they always love me. They want me to be involved in everything, and I was so involved in everything. So when I became Christian, it became a problem. Okay, they started talking about what happened. Maybe I had problem, you know. So it was a big challenge. I had to move out of that neighborhood because things can happen, you know.
Was your husband, was he a Christian then too?
No, he wasn't. He was born a Muslim too. We've known each other, you know, before all this started. So, and we're planning our marriage. But he did not disturb me. He didn't say, don't go. Sometimes he goes to church too. He wasn't as devoted as me. So, in Muslim religion. So, sometimes he was a teacher, a professor in the university then. So he goes to church sometimes. Sometimes if something happened in the mosque, he will go. But mostly he goes to church. So he knows about Christianity and he keeps a lot of Christian friends. So a lot of the professors around him, they are Christians. So he didn't see anything bad in it and he didn't disturb me from doing it. So.
Okay. And how did you get to the United States then?
Okay. Actually, coming to the United States, I would say God, it was a divine plan by God. Because I worked with an airline and I travel a lot. It has never been in my plan to relocate and live abroad. I do travel a lot, go to Europe, go to Asian part of African countries.
What airline was it?
Lufthansa.
Lufthansa. You worked for Lufthansa?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at the time, my husband got involved in politics, in Nigerian politics. Actually, he became a mayor in his local government, like county, and he resigned from the university and went, you know, to his village to live there because of the politics, and we're living in the big city. So after sometimes there was political war among the opponents and their party, you know, and Nigerian politics wasn't like it was so dirty, you know. If they cannot get hold of you, they go after your family. So, and my husband was telling me, okay, now can we relocate from Nigeria?
Did you have children at this point?
Yes.
How many children did you?
2.
How old were they?
That time they were like 3 and 2 and 3. I had one before he became the mayor. Then in between I had my second daughter. So I had 2. So at that point he was telling me we had to relocate. I said, okay, if we have to relocate, let's see. I don't like living abroad, but we can relocate to another part of Nigeria and I will keep a low life there. I don't want anybody to know where I am. And I'll get a transfer from my work.
From Lufthansa? From
Lufthansa to there. So that was the plan. But at the same time, I applied for immigrant visa with the United States. But I didn't expect anything from there. I just did it because I didn't have mind of moving. So after our plan to relocate to another city, everything was done. We got the house over there and every plan was, you know, perfect. It was just like a month for us to relocate from Lagos. Then the US Embassy wrote us that they granted us the immigrant visa. So at that point, my husband said, okay, we have to go.
What year would that have been?
That was 2006. So we started planning it, and we came to the US in April 2006.
And where did you come? Did you come to Texas?
No, the first place we went was New York. I was supposed to stay with. Like 2 months before we came, lost his wife. So, and I was pregnant with my third daughter. And when we got there, he was willing to take us, but the moment, that very time, he needed help too. You know, it was money, his wife, and they have little kids. So we decided to move. And my husband had another, cousin in Minnesota. So we called her to arrange a house for us so that at least we have somebody there. Because I was pregnant, new to the United States, I need help. So we got a house and we moved from New York to Minnesota. So I was in Minnesota for about 3 years.
And your husband, did he find a job while you were
No,
there?
he didn't. Okay, that was another challenge because he came. He was still the mayor over there in Nigeria. So he couldn't stay.
Mm-hmm.
When I had my baby, he left. He had to leave. And he was coming like every three months.
Oh.
So it was very, very hard.
Mm.
I would cry and cry and cry.
You were alone with the 3 little
Yes.
ones. Mm.
But when I called him, he would talk to me, he would beg me to just, take it as a sacrifice for the children. Because the situation in Nigeria with the children, he doesn't want them to come and face it. So that was
It was too dangerous.
Yes, consolation.
Because they took the political anger out on the family.
Anger on the family.
So how did you get to Texas then?
All right. So we were in Minnesota. The weather was so harsh.
Yeah, cold.
It was very, very hard.
I know.
No friend, nobody, So one time my husband came. Normally when he comes, he was always lucky, no much of cold. So one time he came during the winter. And he was about to die. I don't know what happened to him. We went out, by the time we came back home, he was on the floor, collapsed. So we had to rush him to the emergency room. And they did every test. They said it was okay, but I believe it was because of the cold. His body couldn't take it. So that was how we decided to move.
Did you know somebody in Texas to move here? Or?
Not really. It was just, somebody we have seen for a, long time. But we talked to them, and they said, oh, here is better.
So now he's in the United States too?
He's in the United States too.
Yeah. And did he find a job?
Yeah, he got a job.
Yeah, what is he doing now?
He worked with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now tell us about your ministry here.
My ministry here, I've been involved in helping so many ministries, one way or the other. God spoke with me through dreams that I should take care of children. And before then, I see myself whenever I am with youth or children, especially those that, like wayward or something, they listen to me. I do counseling a lot. And through dream, God showed me that I should take care of the children. So right now, I'm in a youth children ministry in our church, in our local church. And so many of my friends, they call me Yahweh. That means mother of children, because they're always around me. And I'm so glad. So it's been so good so far.
How many children do you have in Bible study?
I have right now, I have like 15 that are active, but all together I have up to like 25, 26.
Children, okay. Mostly immigrant children, or?
Yes.
From what countries do they come from?
I have some from Liberia.
Liberia? Okay.
And the rest from Nigeria.
And the rest are from Nigeria. All right.
And I learned through them. You know, being with them has helped me to grow a lot, because I have to teach them. I have to prepare Bible passages for them. With this, it's helping me to grow tremendously. It has helped me. It has blessed me a lot. Yeah. And then one challenge I've faced so far, you know, in the United States, when I came to Texas, I got a job from Lufthansa again, at the airport in Houston here. But I had a co-worker from Pakistan. You know, I like him so much. We talk. He's elderly, older than myself. And one day, we were talking, and I told him I was once a Muslim. And he looked at me and said, he paused for like 2 minutes, and he was standing in front of me looking at me. And he asked me again, "You were once a Muslim?" I said, "Yes." "And you are now a Christian?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "Do you know I'm supposed to kill you?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I will understand if these ones," he pointed to the white guys in the office, "if this one changed, they say they are Christian, I don't care. But for you, from Africa and once a Muslim, I'm supposed to kill you." Then I asked him a question. I said, "Can you fight for God?" He didn't answer me. I said, "Now, can you show me in the Quran where it says you must kill somebody that is a Christian or converted from Christianity? I mean, from Muslim to Christianity." And he just walked away. But since that day, he has not been my friend again. He doesn't want to talk to me. He doesn't want to have anything to do with me. I was so scared. I didn't know how to handle it. But thank God, I left the job.
With left hands. Well, I pray the Lord will give you more opportunities to share the love of Christ with Muslims or Hindus or Sikhs or whoever, so that they can come to know Jesus through your life.
Amen.